Two sisters take a DNA test for fun, but when the results link them to a decade-old crime, their family's darkest secrets come crashing to the surface. What they uncover will change their lives forever. The attic was a time capsule, filled with the scent of aged wood and forgotten memories. Twin sisters, Aaliyah and Amara, stood shoulder to shoulder, antique jewelry and boxes sealed with brittle tape. They had promised their mother to clean out the attic after their grandmother's passing, a task they'd been avoiding for weeks. But today, curiosity got the better of them. "Hey, look at this," Amara called out, holding up a small, unassuming box with the words Ancestry Journey printed on it. The kit looked untouched, tucked beneath a stack of their grandmother's journals. Aaliyah tilted her head, intrigued. A DNA test. Did Grandma ever mention wanting to do one of these? "Nope," Amara replied, already opening the box. Inside were two sealed vials, an instruction sheet, and prepaid envelopes. Aaliyah smirked. "Well, maybe we can finish what she started. It could be fun, right? See if there's anything cool in our family history." The twins couldn't have been more different in how they approached things. Amara, the meticulous one, carefully read the instructions, while Aaliyah, the risk-taker, already had the swab in her hand. Within minutes, the test was complete, their samples tucked neatly into the mailer. "I wonder if we're part something exotic," Aaliyah said, laughing. "Or maybe royalty," Amara added with a playful roll of her eyes. Neither could have imagined how much those swabs would disrupt their lives. 2 weeks later, the email came in. Aaliyah checked it first, her face lighting up with curiosity. Amara leaned over her sister's shoulder as they navigated the results. The first page was predictable a mix of African and European ancestry, but then there was an alert. "Significant findings. Please consult a specialist." "What does that even mean?" Amara asked, her brow furrowed. "I don't know," Aaliyah said, staring at the screen. "Let's ask Mum." Their mother, who had been in the kitchen, walked over. When she saw the alert, her smile faded, replaced with quiet concern. "Let's not jump to conclusions," she said, but her voice wavered. "We'll take these results to Dr. Benson tomorrow and get this clarified." The excitement of the discovery shifted into unease. Something about their mum's tone hinted that this was no small matter. The sterile smell of disinfectant filled the air as the family sat in Dr. Benson's waiting room. Aaliyah tapped her foot impatiently, while Amara scrolled through her phone, trying to distract herself from the tension. Their mother sat silently, her hands gripping her purse tightly, her eyes fixed on the door leading to the examination rooms. The next morning would begin a journey they never could have anticipated. When their names were called, the three of them filed into Dr. Benson's office. He greeted them with his usual warmth, but his demeanor shifted as soon as he opened the file containing their DNA results. "Let's take a look," he said, adjusting his glasses. His fingers flipped through the pages, but then they stopped. His smile faltered. "What is it?" their mother asked, leaning forward in her chair. Dr. Benson's expression was unreadable. "I need to review this thoroughly before jumping to any conclusions. Do you mind if I step out for a moment?" The room fell silent as he left, closing the door behind him. The ticking of the clock on the wall seemed louder now, each second stretching into an eternity. "Mom, what's going on?" Amara asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know, sweetheart," she replied, though her face betrayed her uncertainty. "Let's just wait for the doctor." Minutes later, the door opened again, but this time, it wasn't just Dr. Benson who walked in. 2 uniformed police officers stood behind him, their faces grave. "And Amara, we're going to need you to come with us," one of them said. Their mother shot out of her chair. "What is the meaning of this? They're just kids." Dr. Benson raised a hand, trying to calm her. "Ma'am, there's been a finding in their DNA that requires further investigation. I can't say more here, but this is a matter of legal importance." Panic swirled in the room like a storm. Aaliyah and Amara exchanged wide-eyed glances, fear written all over their faces. "What did we do?" Aaliyah blurted out, her voice shaking. "It's not about what you did," the officer replied. "It's about something that's been found." The twins were escorted out of the clinic, their mother following close behind, demanding answers. Flashes of cameras greeted them as they stepped into the bright daylight outside. Local reporters were already swarming the scene, shouting questions. And just like that, their ordinary lives became the center of a mystery that would shake their family to its core. At the police station, they were led into a small, sterile room with a plain table and 3 chairs. A detective entered, introducing himself as Detective Harris, a tall man with a stern face but kind eyes. "I know this is overwhelming," he began, sitting down across from them. "I need you to understand, we're trying to protect you." "Protect us from what?" their mother interjected, her voice sharp. "You haven't told us anything." Detective Harris opened a manila folder and slid a document across the table. It was a printout of the twins' DNA results. Highlighted in bold letters at the bottom were the words, "Genetic match to unresolved criminal investigation." The room seemed to tilt as the weight of the words sank in. "What does that mean?" Amara asked, her voice trembling. "It means your DNA has matched evidence collected from a crime scene and connected to a case that's remained unsolved for nearly 16 years, Detective Harris explained. Their mother's face went pale. "What kind of crime?" Harris hesitated, then said quietly, "It's related to an abduction case." The twins exchanged bewildered looks. "But we were only babies 16 years ago," Aaliyah protested. "Yes," Harris replied, "and that's why this is so unusual. The DNA match comes from biological material found at the scene match to both of you. This suggests that someone closely related to you was directly involved." The mother's hands began to shake. "No, this has to be some kind of mistake." Harris softened his tone. "That's what we're here to determine. But we need your cooperation. Is there anyone in your family, past or present, who might have been capable of something like this?" "No," their mother exclaimed, her voice rising. "My family is not like that." Aaliyah, who had been silent until now, asked quietly, "What about Grandma?" The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. Detective Harris leaned forward. "Your grandmother, did she ever talk about anything unusual? Any secrets?" Their mother shook her head vehemently, but the twins exchanged a look. "The journals in the attic, they hold the answers." "Does this mean Grandma saved us?" Amara wondered aloud one night. "Maybe," Aaliyah replied, "but it also means she knew we weren't hers. And Mom didn't know either." Their mother, overhearing, stepped into the room. "You're mine," she said firmly, her voice breaking. "No matter what those papers say, no matter where you came from, you are my daughters. That hasn't changed, and it never will." Her words offered comfort, but they didn't erase the unease that lingered in the background. The twins continued to feel like pieces of a puzzle that didn't quite fit together. The investigation uncovered more unsettling truths. Their biological father had been a fugitive for years, accused of crimes far beyond the abduction. But the question that haunted the family most was why the twins had been left at their grandmother's doorstep. One final journal entry provided a clue. He said they were in danger. He begged me to take them, swore it was the only way to save their lives. I didn't believe him, but when I saw the look in his eyes, I couldn't say no. I don't know what he's running from, but I know I'll protect them with everything I have." It was both a revelation and a heartbreak. Their biological father, man whose crimes made him a monster in the eyes of the world, had also been the one to ensure their safety. The answers brought clarity, but they also left scars, questions about forgiveness, legacy, and the weight of choices made in desperate circumstances. In the weeks that followed, life slowly began to return to a fragile sense of normalcy. The media frenzy died down, though whispers of the case still lingered in the community. Detective Harris kept the family updated, but the trail of their biological father had gone cold once again. Despite the unanswered questions, Olia and Amara felt a strange sense of closure. Their grandmother had kept them safe at a great personal cost, and their mother's unwavering love had given them the foundation to face these revelations with strength. One evening, as they sat together on the porch, the twins reflected on everything they had learned. "Grandma did what she thought was right," Amara said quietly, staring at the setting sun. "She protected us, even if it meant keeping secrets. She gave us a chance at a life we might not have had otherwise," Olia added. "And Mumshi's been our rock through all of this. No DNA test can change that." Their mother, sitting between them, placed an arm around each of their shoulders. "Family isn't just about blood," she said. "It's about the people who stand by you, who fight for you, and who love you unconditionally. That's what your grandmother believed, and that's what I believe too." The twins smiled, feeling a newfound sense of identity and purpose. Their story wasn't just one of mystery and fear. It had also brought them closer as a family. They had faced their past together and come out stronger on the other side. As the sun dipped below the horizon, their mother spoke again. "Remember this. No matter where you come from, it's the choices you make that define who you are. Never let anyone else decide that for you." The twins nodded, finding comfort in her words. Though their journey had been filled with shock, fear, and uncertainty, it was one of resilience, love, and the power of family to overcome even the darkest truths.